we only had like 20 minutes for me to share the concept. So I decided to make sure we were clear on what we were doing, why we were doing it, and how you could do it. Because when I say this to people, most times they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean I can actually write a book in a day? I broke it down into these various plans. I'm a project manager too, so plan the work and work the plan. So being able to use AI to live powerfully, you don't have to write a book. But let's just say, when we talk about living your legacy now, one way that you can leave a legacy, not just live a legacy, right now, if you wrote about what you do well, if you wrote about some of the lessons you've learned, you now are leaving them to your children, your nieces, your nephews, the people that are in this world who could use all kind of positive energy, right? That's actually why I started to do my live radio and YouTube show, because I'm like, we got to have some positive stuff in the universe. And so we're turning these live broadcasts into a documentary, a docu-series actually, a whole series of wonderful conversations and activations. So for you to be able to start I just want to share this with you. So I believe I am yes I am. So you see my screen right now. This is, I wrote in before I used ChatGPT, now I'm in Copilot. This is just Microsoft version. And I said, hey, I want to write a book on the topic of living powerfully. I need for it to have 10 chapters. I need for it to include living powerfully with AI and positive intelligence. That's all I wrote. Now, I have uploaded some things like these transcripts to presentations I've done. We started uploading, but this is actually a new, and that's the way you do it. Like, you want to upload content that you've done. This is a new computer. This is actually a new, like, Copilot is not ChatGPT that I've been able to really feed old, information into. So it decided, hey, I'm going to help you write this book. I'm going to write out what the chapters could look like, right? You can always edit them. I'm going to lay it out for you. Then you can say, I need more detail. But let me just talk to you what these chapters are going to look like, because I am writing a book. I'm just, leveraging content that I already have, that I've done, that is in my brain. But the beauty of this is you can use these AI tools now to both help you create, streamline, expand, research, and all these things, right? So this is what it said to me just when I typed this into Copilot, similar to ChatGPT. I want to write this book. It's going to be called Living Powerfully, have at least 10 chapters, and it should include living powerfully with AI and positive intelligence. So how I'm telling you to live powerfully with AI is to use AI to write your book. That's just one thing. But you can use it every time you have a question that you maybe would be hiring a consultant for or whatever. AI is not going to do it for you. So you really want some human interaction, but in order to expand, as a consultant, I use AI. I'm actually helping people to use AI in a way where it will change everything for them. And so what I love about this is, I'll just scroll down. It started to write the book. It gave me the chapter 1 and what the points would be, 3 points for each chapter. Now watch what I'm going to do once I review this with you. I'm going to ask it to expand on these and write them out in detail. Now, you can also change some of these and say, I like this, but I want to add more, blah, 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 right? So what it said it would do for me is introduction to living powerfully. What does it mean to live powerfully? We'll talk about that. There will be, some generic content. So you want to make sure this is reflecting you as well. But it's definitely going to help you to get started. For people who may need a lot of help, AI can help you extensively. For me, I want this to be about me, but I just want to make sure you know that you can use these kind of resources. And it's going to be pretty, supportive. I'll just put it that way, pretty supportive. The importance of personal empowerment, and then overview of the book structure. So we're going to talk about what it is and why you're going to do it. Chapter 2, they're projecting the foundations of positive intelligence. So what is PQ? What is positive intelligence? What are the benefits of cultivating this positive intelligence? What are some of the key principles and strategies? Chapter 3 would be embracing change and overcoming challenges. So it's going to talk a little bit about developing resilience, adaptability, techniques for overcoming these obstacles, real life examples of powerful living, like how are we really doing that? Chapter 4 says harnessing the power of the mindfulness, the power of the mind, right? So these mindfulness practices, and then we'll talk about the impact of these mindfulness practices on your personal power. Daily mindfulness techniques. So this is what the PQ app helps you to do. It's also what our Living Powerfully app helps you to do, but it's really important that you have something that is daily, some daily routine, some daily practices. Then it's talking about building emotional intelligence. And what I like about this is PQ is way more than emotional intelligence. It's actually PQ is the intersection between IQ and EQ, right? So it's the more skills and information measured by your IQ, but it's also that emotional intelligence, right? So being able to manage your emotions, being able to have better relationships, being able to practice that with other people. So it's a beautiful thing. It's not just emotional intelligence, but it is a part of it. The other thing about leveraging AI for personal growth. So when you think about the role of AI in your modern life, it talks about tools that you can use and case studies for AI-driven personal growth. So you can expand this in a number of different ways. So watch what's going to happen when I finish it. So you can create a vision and setting goals, which is really important, developing a growth mindset. It talks about cultivating healthy relationships, and then living powerfully every day. So I'm going to say, I want to hear a little bit more about this chapter 6. So I'm going to say expand. This is me typing in the box here. I'm going to say expand on chapter 6. I want a detailed exploration of leveraging AI for personal growth. I'm not even going to say personal growth because that's a different thing. True transformation is the language that I use. So I'm asking it to expand on that. Tell me more. So now it's going to go and take that same topic. All I did was that one little line. I just want to clarify how AI can truly, truly help you. I didn't get to do a full blown demo before, but I wanted to show this to people so you can be like, what? I didn't know it could do this. Yes. Right, and then you get to cultivate, you get to change it, you get to, pour yourself into it so that it gets back to what you want to do. So here it basically says, okay, the intro would be some brief overview of what AI is, how it's growing. It would give us a definition of PQ and achieving personal mastery and transformation, and then it would intersect AI and PQ. That's the work that I'm doing. So it's going to talk about the basics of AI in section 1, types of AI, and then the applications of AI for your healthcare, for daily life, how it can actually support you deeply. And then if you think about these AI-driven applications, meditation apps, fitness trackers, virtual coaches, right, self-improvement coaches, being able to customize and personalize how AI can tailor recommendations and feedback to individual needs, and then being able to use AI for data-driven insights. So how can the AI help you to provide these actionable insights? What I love most about that is you think about defining PQ, your PQ scores. This is all kind of great stuff. But this is still on how can AI actually help you to truly transform. So if you say integrating AI with the PQ transformation, there is AI-powered PQ assessments, right? But being able to give and get real feedback on these mindfulness tools is really amazing. And then actually being able to bring AI into your daily routine, right, to make it part of your practice, and then really building on this. So you can, again, love it. I'm going to say love it. Love it. Now give me more detail. Again, I want more. I'm going to go back up. So I'm going to say give me more detail on, I'm going to talk about this section 2. Right? Detail on section 2. And you can see up here, I was just scrolling back up, section 2 is talking about AI-driven applications, so tools for personal growth. So give me more detail on section 2 and write it out for the book. Show everything. I'm like, don't wait, don't give me any more outlines. I want to see the thing. I'm thrilled you're enjoying this, it says. Let's flush out chapter 2 with more detailed content for your book. So now it's actually writing. It's saying, hey, in this fast-paced digital age, AI has revolutionized everything we're doing. And you can apply it to your personal growth journey. There's all kind of meditation apps, They're giving you some examples. Calm is one. Headspace is one. Insight Timer is another. There's all kind of fitness and health trackers, MyFitnessPal, Fitbit, etc. Virtual coaches and assistants, these things exist. They're here for us. Productivity tools and management tools. I'm like, I love it. I need even more, right? So this is how you just continue to build and you continue to go. So you're basically doing the research and the writing at the same time. So when you say, can AI really help me? Yes. And this is just the beginning. Are you loving this? Are you loving this right now? Yes. So for me, it was just really important. Thank you. Let me remove this from the screen. But it's really important for us to actually be able to stop and to be able to share exactly what you can do with AI. Hello. So again, writing a book may not be your thing. I get it. So if you don't want to write a book with AI, that was an option. Again, I did a whole presentation on that last week. There's more detail that we can provide you. I think I provided a giveaway. We have a cool set of prompts to write your book in detail.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio Traffic Update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio Traffic Update.
Your pay will increase on January 1st if you work in unincorporated King County and make minimum wage. The new rate will be $20.29 per hour. Smaller employees can pay less. The new minimum wage will help more people meet their costs of living, and it brings wages in unincorporated King County closer to wages in nearby cities. For more information and to find out if you work in unincorporated King County, go to kingcounty.gov/wage.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio.org. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
Welcome to the coronavirus pandemic. I'll take coronavirus for 100. Fever, chills, shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell. What is stay at home and isolate? Correct. Coronavirus for 200. Inability to stay awake, persistent pain or pressure in chest, trouble breathing. What is seek immediate help?
Coronavirus for 500.
Crippling and potentially dead infectious disease eliminated in the United States with vaccination.
What is the polio vaccine? I'll take coronavirus for 700.
The Daily Double! Should I take the coronavirus vaccine?
Wait. Hold up. This is not a game. It's time for serious discussions. We have coronavirus vaccines, but not everyone is comfortable taking them. Here's the facts. Based on what has been proven about vaccines for other diseases, COVID-19 vaccine may help keep you from getting seriously ill, even if you do get the virus. Getting vaccinated also may protect people around, particularly those at greater risk for severe illness from COVID-19. We don't yet have all of the answers. Get informed, talk to your healthcare physician, and make the right decision for you. This is a message supported by the Washington State Department of Health.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenueradio.world.
I'm going to transition to another quick presentation. Because what I tried to do here is to not only share, hey, here are the steps that we want you to take, these simple steps, but I also wanted to provide this deeper understanding about what we did in week 1, week 0 rather, was we did a little kickoff and we talked about the difference between, I don't know if you can read that, it's full screen, so hopefully you can. We were talking about the difference between transformation versus training, the benefits, right, and the impacts and the examples. This is the stuff that I pulled together. Right, it's a different focus, it's a different duration, it's a different approach. People talk about it, but if you're not doing this work, you're really still just training, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not willing to apply it daily, then you're really just training, which isn't bad, but you're not going to get the full root cause, results that we hope for. That's what the Living Powerfully experience is all about. So again, the PQ program is a part of what the Living Powerfully experience is. It's not all of it, but it is a big part, and it actually, helps us to, in 7 weeks, it allows you to establish these habits, these routines, so that you can really maintain and expand on your mental fitness for life. So it's the beginning, and this is kind of what the process looks like. When I said week 1, you kind of energize your sage brain. Week 2, you want to catch those saboteurs. And week 2 and 3, you're catching your saboteurs. First, you're catching the judge, and then you're catching the other accomplice saboteurs. And then in weeks 4 through 7, you're actually leveraging your sage superpowers, which are things like empathy and more, right? Empathy, the power to activate, the power to explore, navigate, and my favorite is innovate. And when you are able to do the work, we've shared this before, and I know it sounds like hyperbole, but these aren't my metrics. These are like proven facts that within 6 weeks of practice, participants who have actually done the daily practice, this is what they experience. Not only greater well-being, but to the point where 85% are happier. 91% are able to manage stress better. 83% say they've improved their self-confidence. So when you think about increasing your performance, this idea of saying I'm 90% better able to manage my energy, and my mental and emotional energy, that's huge. When you think about your performance, think about how much time we waste just being distracted, not managing our energy, allowing things to take us off path. 90% more able to manage your mental and emotional energy. That is huge. Being 92% more better at teamwork and collaboration. 76% of the people, improve their ability to develop others. That means as a leader, I can do this better now. And to have stronger relationships, I love this as well. To say that 97% of the individuals say they've improved their empathy. 84% say they're better at conflict management. 82% would say that they've improved their actual ability to have, positive relationships with others. And I know I'm in a slightly loud place, so hopefully my voice is still carrying. And we've talked a lot about what this is and what mental fitness is about, but I just wanted to clarify, it is 20% insight, but it's 80% mental fitness. That's really more important than what I can possibly share. So when I think about this other document, this idea of looking and going a little bit deeper as it relates to the work, this is one of the other elements that I wanted to clarify. In week 1, I know it sounds a little weird, but we really focus on small steps, and we reward those small steps. I started this whole presentation around this idea of what are we doing and how are we doing it? What are we doing as it relates to living powerfully? The small steps. It's the daily routines. It's acknowledging these saboteurs, seeing them and celebrating that you see them, and then it's the next step, right, around acknowledging your accomplice saboteurs, seeing them and saying, I see you, I love this, and I'm not so sure, why I didn't see this before. Because once you see something, you can't unsee it. So sometimes you ask questions. I was taking a group through a session on this past Sunday, actually, the Buffalo Soldiers, and one of the ladies said, I love this so much. When I see my judge now, she said, I have to ask myself why. And I was like, you know what? You can ask yourself why, but our brains are wired to judge. Like, that's just kind of how our brains were wired. right? And so to focus less on the why and just to see it when you see the judge, when you know you're judging yourself, you're judging others, you're judging a situation, you pause. You get to pause and celebrate and say, nope, I'm not doing that anymore, right? So that to me is probably the most powerful part of this entire journey, is knowing that you're just focusing on small steps and then you're rewarding those small steps. That is the beauty of this entire process, right? Now I could go on and on and on as it relates to this documentation, but the thing I actually wanted to go back to, I'm going to jump back over to Copilot, because I want you guys to see why I love this so much. I'm just going to ask it another question. So when you say, like, how can you live powerfully? So I was just saying, why is it so important? Why is it so important to start with small steps and reward those small steps when doing personal transformation and development and professional development, right? So why is it so important that we do this? So for any of the things that we're asking, this is like how AI can support you, right? So it's like you may get information, but with AI, it's like if I'm not 100% clear why I should be doing it, then you can ask, why am I doing this? So I wanted to clarify, AI is just like your personal coach, right? So it could be your friend, your smarter friend that's like, okay, I know I should be doing this, but I'm not sure why. So starting with small steps and rewarding your progress is crucial in personal transformation and professional development for several reasons. Like, we know the reasons, but sometimes it's really good to see it right there in black and white. It says it builds momentum and confidence. So when you have small steps, these are achievable goals. So you're actually rewiring your brain. That's kind of the whole point. You're rewiring your brain. You're basically saying, I can do this thing, and then you're celebrating when you do one thing, and your brain is like, yay, she's doing this thing. So small steps are more manageable, and they're less overwhelming than big, daunting tasks. I need to lose 100 pounds. Do I? Or do I need to just eat and drink more? I need to eat and drink more intentionally. Do I need to do my PQ reps as I'm drinking my water, feeling it going down? Enjoying the moment. These are small steps. If every time you drank water, you were PQing it, right? You were being more intentional. You were feeling it going down, or tea or coffee, whatever your drink of choice is. If each time you did it, you were very intentional, wouldn't life be different, right? And then you don't see it in the moment. Actually, you see a little bit of the change in the moment, because once you've done this a few times, you're kind of like, oh, I do like this. And your brain is like, she likes this because she's celebrating after she does it. So we want to do more of that. So it's going to boost your confidence. Each of these small successes reinforces your belief that you can actually do it. So you're going to eventually and gradually build your own confidence. I love this idea of developing consistency and habits, because people say, it's kind of hard for me to do this thing daily. Don't I know? So we are all human. You do as much as you can do, and where you are is exactly where you want to be. The more you do it with a higher level of exuberance, when I say catch yourself doing something great and then celebrate it, catch yourself moving one step in the direction that you want to, and then celebrate that as well. So developing consistency or creating a routine, when you take these small steps repeatedly, they become part of your daily routine. When you look back, you think about that transformation of that caterpillar to a butterfly. That butterfly, when it's flying around, petal to petal, flower to flower, it does not remember what it felt like to be scooching along on a branch, because it's doing its thing over here. So it is transformed at a DNA level. That's how we transform at a DNA level. It's with developing these consistent small habits, and then having sustainable progress. small, consistent actions are more sustainable over the long term compared to these large, sporadic efforts, which can lead to burnout. People are like, I'm tired, I need a break. Even small things can make people say they need a break. So just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with that either, but just know that this idea of developing consistency in habits is a beautiful thing. And if you think about positive reinforcement and motivation, so being able to say, my brain recognizes these small victories, and I'm like loving every moment of this. So when I say celebrate and celebrate big, that positive reinforcement is really what matters. I want to talk about maintaining your motivation. So celebrating your small wins maintains your enthusiasm. It helps to prevent discouragement, right? So every little thing, if you do the little things, it's going to enhance your learning and your adaptability, right? But it's also going to keep you reinforced. It's going to reinforce your motivation. It's going to help maintain that celebrating the small wins. So we just asked the question of AI, why is this so important that we do this? This is the why, right? Enhancing your learning ability, managing stress, and avoiding the overwhelm. I can go on and on and on, but I just wanted to use this system as a way, building a strong foundation. I love that as well. It says, when you do this, you're laying the groundwork. These small steps help to build a strong foundation for more significant changes. And each small success reinforces the groundwork for the larger work. We're saying we want to have better performance, better relationships, better well-being. I want to be less, have less stress, and I want to do all these, have better relationships, and I want to start this business, and I want to do whatever the things are. I want my organization to be X, Y, and Z, whatever those things are. It starts with these small steps. So you're laying this foundation for the bigger things. You're ensuring your long-term success because habits, again, they're habitual. That's kind of it's in the name, right? So you get to decide, you get to choose, and you get to really develop the life that you want. It's like, be it and you will see it. See it and you will be it. Like, do it and you become it, right? It's like, it's not a mystery. These habits really create not just a small incremental step, but it's actually moving you in the right direction. So when I talk about the Living Powerfully experience with AI, there's going to be other tools we're going to share with you, but I just thought it was important for today to use a really simple one. Again, I used ChatGPT previously. This is Microsoft Copilot, which feels a lot like ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT 4.0. It's not a lot. There's free ones and there's slightly paid ones. I typically, because of the level that I'm performing at and the level that I'm helping people at, the organizations that I'm working with that are serious and able to bring funding to work, when they're serious about their work, then I'm like, I want to give you the best. So we always use the best, but I also want to make sure that the layperson who is like, oh my God, AI, I'm not ready, get ready. And I just want to see how it can help you. Let's help you to get ready. Let's help you to live powerfully with both AI and PQ. And when you combine the two, like, well, how can AI help me with the PQ? It's simple things like this, right? Think about the goal that you want to accomplish. If you were using AI once a week to build on whatever you wanted to do with AI, like talking about it, building on it, expanding on whatever the outcome would look like, think about where you would be. That's the plan. So as we go into this new year, as we end this year isn't over. So I just kind of want to pause. Let me come back off and back to the thing and remove this. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it was helpful. Yes, I'm in a restaurant. It's okay. I decided to see exactly how could this work if I was in a restaurant, if I was out in the streets. I'm going to be in Africa for a month. 30 days. So I'm like, if I can't do it in a regular restaurant in the U.S., with Africa, with people telling me the Wi-Fi is going to be shaky. So I just decided to do this show today in a space where I could still talk and still come across. And maybe I'll have to do it in my room alone in the night. Maybe I can do those recordings. But I also want to be able to be out. And when I'm in Africa, I want to be able to show you. I'm actually at Alki Beach, so I was going to show you the sunset, but it's a little cloudy today, so it wasn't from where I'm at. It's too cold, honestly. I was out there with my camera, and I'm like, it's like, I'm not going to do it out there. So I came inside. So Anyway, it is beautiful. The sun is mostly set. It's not completely dark, but it's mostly set out there. So what I can say is, again, it's if you think about it's December, early December, and if you had some special things that you said you were going to accomplish in 2024, the year is not over. So I want you to reach out to me. I'm going to put my information here in the chat. It's Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. If there's a goal that you wanted to accomplish, I may have to get my, is this it? So Traci, I have to have my producer do it. Maybe you can put it on the screen for me. Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. That's my email address. Okay, there we go. So feel free to reach out to me if there is a goal that you said you wanted to accomplish in 2024. Thank you. I like to capitalize the first letter in the words, like it's all bigger than me. Thank you very much. I'm a little picky. So anyway, Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. If there was a goal that you wanted to accomplish in 2024 and you haven't, or there's a goal that you want to accomplish in 2025, and they could be the same. Like, hey, I wanted to do X and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and now I'm going to go and double down on that. Great. Then let me help you. The Living Powerfully experience, the work I do as a coach, but also the work I'm doing now as a certified AI coach. It's like, oh my God, we get to work with the mind and we get to leverage technology. Let's go. There is not one thing we can't do together. There's not one thing you can't do already. You have everything you need right at your little fingertips. You really do. So my goal is to stay with you, to connect with you. I need to, my producer said the sound is fine. Great. Yay. Okay. So, excellent. So I think we're at time. Yes, Nathan? I think we're at time. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Oh, okay. I thought you had to go. Okay. So what I'm gonna, this is how we're gonna end. So here's my plan. So the other thing I didn't do, and I have to be, I'm always transparent, right? So the other thing that I said I was going to do was I was going to show up every day. I said I was going to show up every day, but then I have to admit, I'm working with one of the groups, and I love them so much. They're so wonderful. I'm working with this few groups, and sometimes I can be too much. You know what I mean? Like I can be a little bit too much. But what I decided now, as of today, as of tomorrow, I guess, because, well, I guess today is the day, because I have my show. So today counts, is one of my days. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show up every day, and I'm going to show up on these platforms every day, and I'm going to, it doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be a full hour, right? That's the other thing. I'm going to make sure there's some shorter bite-sized clips for people to get it and be like, okay, yes, I love that, I love that, I love that. So just giving you these little tips and tricks and opportunities, but I'm really going to also talk about my own personal journey, like what I decided to do today, how I showed up differently, and that's going to be my invitation to invite you on that same journey. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the things I said I was going to do. I did do in 2024, so that is exciting. I was just talking to someone. It kind of evolved a little differently. At one point, I said I was going to be a camper van lady. Do you guys know what that is? You know what a camper van lady is? So I was going to buy a camper van, and then I was going to travel around the country. And I can tell you the whole story because I don't want anyone else to do it, but I had a whole plan as I'm writing my next series of books. But I took a trip to Nevada, and after the trip, it was a group trip, and then afterwards I rented a car, and I was going to stay for an extra week, and I was driving from Phoenix to Sedona, and it was so interesting because this camper van life of mine sounds great, but keep in mind, I was hit by a drunk driver a couple years ago, totaled my car. I still suffer from PTSD. Sometimes I'm driving, and it's not a good experience, let me just say that, at all. But I was feeling pretty good, and, taking some, calming natural herbs. And not those kind of herbs, I promise. Not those kind of hurts. But I was, just in a position where felt like I could drive 3 or 4 hours alone. What I didn't realize is that that there's these huge mountains. Like, I'm from Florida. I'm used to flat surfaces. As I'm driving from Phoenix to Sedona, there was this absolute, like, curvy mountains, road is leaning to the side, and cliffs. Like, you could fall off the cliff, so you could see as far as the eye could see. You could see. It was a lot. It was too much for me in that moment. So I thought, you know what? This is uncomfortable. If I'm going to be a camper van lady, I should probably enjoy these type of experiences. I'm not enjoying this at all. So it's okay to, like, have a plan and then decide, you know what, this probably isn't for me. Now, could I be a camper van lady if I had a driver? The answer is yes. So if you want to be my driver, we could go on some adventures, then that would be great. I would have enjoyed that experience had I not been behind the wheel. I would have been looking like, these mountains are so beautiful. Oh, look at the cliff. I could fall over. But being behind the wheel, I have trouble locally sometimes. So, no, it was not good. So let's be clear. Just because you had a goal, an aspiration, you could call it a New Year's resolution or whatever you wanted to accomplish. It's okay that those things don't happen. If you change your mind, you're like, okay, maybe that is not exactly what I wanted. I decided clearly that is not what I wanted. Now, will I go on some road trips? Yes. Will I have a driver? Yes. For sure. Will I become a camper van lady? No. But I am doing something else that's pretty cool. Like, I've been, I'm a bit of I call myself a urban chic upscale nomad. So it's allowed me to get rid of a bunch of stuff and to just feel so free, similar, right? So I feel like, yeah, that goal got accomplished because I'm doing it. I'm all in. I'm all in. Yesterday I put a bunch of stuff in storage, all of my stuff in storage actually, and then yesterday I took a group of movers to my storage unit, and what little furniture that I hadn't already given away to someone, I took it all out because I'm still going through my stuff and I needed more space, and went to Goodwill and did like a $10,000 donation of this leather furniture and stuff that has just been sitting in storage. I'm like, let's let someone else have use of it. Now, how freeing is that? That was the mindset that I wanted when I said I wanted to be a camper van lady. It wasn't about necessarily having the camper van. It was more about the freedom that would come from me accomplishing that goal. So here it is, the end of 2024. I said I wanted to be able to travel more. Well, guess what? In less than 10 days, or in exactly 10 days, I will be spending 30 days in Africa. And I will be taking each of you on that journey with me. We're going to have all kind of lives happening. This show will be happening still. I'll be preparing and packaging content for this show. But I'm also just going to show up, like, with this Living Powerfully experience and with this cultural experience that I'm having. So I cannot be more excited. I'm doing exactly what I wanted. And if I had not taken the steps throughout the year to put myself in a position where I could go and travel for 30 days, right? That's what I wanted to do. And I can now. I can do it. And I'm doing it. So my point of telling you that story is just simply to say things will evolve. And if you stay focused on the intent of what you want to accomplish, it can happen. So I'm going to ask that you invite me to be a part of your team, a part of your journey. Show up here every week. And again, if you're live, I have 2 minutes and I need to say goodbye. So I'm going to say goodbye to the. We do have a listening audience. We go live on Rainier Avenue Radio, and I think I may have missed the earlier break, but my producer's got this all covered. So what I love is, Nathan, thank you so much for being you. At 4:52 in 2 minutes, I'm going to officially say goodbye to the audience of Rainier Avenue Radio. But what I'd love to do is have each of you join me right here. Again, my email, we'll put that up one more time. It's Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. I'm also building out an app. It's called the Living Powerfully Experience app. It's available right now on Amazon